The spot Bitcoin ETF must pass. But for who must it pass for? Now, I'm going to get into that. Before I begin, let's go over the fees right now for these spot Bitcoin ETFs. Okay, Bitwise at 0.24%, followed by VanEck at 0.25%. And we also have fee waivers on 3 for 6 months down to 0%, plus BlackRock waiver at 0.2%. You have to ask yourself, what's the significance of these numbers? Well, it's because there's a lot of competition right now. And there's going to be a lot of competition. They know, big banks know, that they need to be as competitive as possible to suck people in to this spot Bitcoin ETF. And not only that, but the amount of money that they're going to need in order for, charging 0.24%, 0.25%, the amount of money that's going to be coming into the system is going to be massive. Why? Because they wouldn't put those percentages so low if they didn't think billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars are going to be coming into the space. This is the bank's time to go and shine, pretty much. This is the banks trying to make a huge impact on Bitcoin, and they will. They're definitely going to make a huge impact, and they're going to pass the spot Bitcoin ETF, whether it's today, tomorrow, whatever. They are going to pass it. They have to pass it. We just heard a couple days ago that VanEck is going to give 5% of their profits to the Bitcoin core development team to, develop Bitcoin. That is really important, right? If it wasn't for the core team, which are mostly volunteers, by the way, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the Bitcoin that we have now. Now, here's the scary thing. VanEck, right? They understand how much the Bitcoin core development team gets. I don't think it's very much. People say that Blockstream, okay, that's the main people. What you might not know is they're like number 8 in terms of the people funding it. Some of the biggest contributors right now are Brinks and also MIT. But number 2 is independent people like you and me. So I don't think there's a lot of money going to the Bitcoin core development team. So can you imagine? VanEck, they get $1 billion in profit eventually, right? What's 5% of $1 billion? $50 million. So can you imagine $50 million going to 20, maybe 30 people at the Bitcoin core development team? Those are actually the amount of people that are working to actually change Bitcoin. It's 20, maybe 30 people. I'm like on a high number right there, 30 people. Imagine that, $50 million per year going to a team of 30 people. And that's just VanEck. Imagine all the other companies out there that are going to give maybe 5% as well, maybe even 10% to be even more competitive, because we see these fees going lower and lower. Could you imagine the amount of giving that these giant banks are going to do, because they love this space so much, because they're banks, you know what I mean? Do you think they know that Bitcoin was created to spite them? So what's happening right now? Heidi's laughing in the background. Okay, so how do people not see this, right? You have all of these entities that probably want to, drive the development of Bitcoin, steer it in a way that they might want to do, right? But you have people are going to say, okay, Blockstream, they kind of forced the Bitcoin core development team to go to Segwit. Well, okay, afterwards they chilled back, they hung back, and they said, you know what? Even if we disagree with where you're going, we're still going to fund you. So that's pretty cool. Do you think they're going to donate $50 million with no strings attached? I don't think so, guys. Be really wary of this. The Bitcoin core development team could get a huge sugar daddy right now, and it's not a good guy either. It's more like a pimp. So this ETF is going to do very good for us who have front run every single bank in the world on Bitcoin, and people that have got in the last couple years. We are going to thrive on this. price-wise, I should say. But for those who have never used Bitcoin before, it's a spot Bitcoin ETF. It is a derivative of Bitcoin. So when people go ahead and buy this spot Bitcoin ETF, they're not getting real Bitcoin, and BlackRock and friends are definitely not going to facilitate them using Bitcoin to send to their friends overseas. But if you want to know what we're doing, how we feel pretty much on a daily basis now, sign up for learningcrypto.com. It's not for everyone. It's for people that actually want to learn a little bit more, that want to get into more than just Bitcoin as well, so that we can capture some of these gains, especially with microcaps. And please leave a comment below. Tell me if I'm wrong in this. Please, I'm fine with people telling me if I'm wrong. I'm used to that by now. Anyways, that's all I have. Please like and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.